Yeah.
Oh my goodness. All right, well, we're going to be quick about this one today just because it's kind of late. And
I got to be up for the 5:30 class.
oh, you coach tomorrow morning? We'll be really quick, guys. We're here to talk about if you want to work with brands on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, anything, some do's and don'ts. We have some friends that run businesses. We ourselves work with some businesses, and we see a lot of people DMing, a lot of people shouting out, asking for free stuff, emailing, wanting to work with, asking for prizes, etc. And we hear the owners of the said companies, talking to us like, I can't believe people are doing this. If they just did things this way, we might be willing to work with them. So it's going to be interesting. So if you ever were like, how the heck do I start working with brands? How the heck do I get connected with them? We're going to talk about that a little bit today.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I said, I'll just ask a lot of questions, and you kind of give me a lowdown because you're much better at this than I am.
Yeah. Well, what do you want to start with? Should we start with the do's or the don'ts?
So I think we should start with let's bring up the situation. So let's say there's this one company that you love and you want to work with. Okay. What are some steps I need to do to reach out or try to get their attention? Perfect.
All right. So first off, if you guys you have an Instagram, it's a personal Instagram, and you don't really have a niche. Let's just say you are
Just post everything about your life.
You like to work, you post everything about your life, but you don't really post much fitness. You don't have a target audience, and you're not doing anything like that. That would be step number one. If you want to go towards camping equipment, we're going to talk about CrossFit because we're CrossFitters. But again, it's whatever you want, you have to start posting about that, making stories about that, telling stories about that, because those are the people that you would like to attract, because that's probably the people this company is going after, right? Mm-hmm. So for CrossFit, you need to start posting about CrossFit, your CrossFit lifts, your life of CrossFit outside of the gym, everything about CrossFit. That's what you need to start posting about, and that would be step number one, is posting about CrossFit and the things that you like about it. Now, step number two, if you are going to reach out to a company, make sure you actually use their product. Okay, I think it's hilarious when people. I've ran a few business Instagrams in the past, and people will be like, "Oh, I want to rock your stuff. It'd be so cool." Blah blah blah. Oh, cool. What do you have from us? Oh, nothing. I just would like to rock it. How do you know? How do you know you'd like it?
Yeah.
What if you hated this product and it was you're just gonna promote it because we sent you free stuff, or how is this gonna work? So,
for an example of that, I'm very short and stocky, so I'll order stuff online or I'll get stuff and it doesn't fit me at all.
Not even close.
Or it's something I don't like the way, even if it does fit me, it's I don't really like how it feels, whatever. So what if a product that I think I might like, they send me stuff and I end up hating it?
Yeah, so that would be step number two. Make sure you guys actually use the product and buy stuff. No brand, unless you're already famous, no brand is gonna be oh yeah, I'd love to send you some free stuff.
Because that's how business is run.
That's how I make money, No, more than likely the business is going to see, for example, let's say Huddy, what are these, Reebok shorts?
Yeah.
Huddy always wears Reebok shorts. He buys Reebok shorts, and he's always tagging. That would be, maybe step number three, tagging that company in the posts of you rocking the things that you're using their products. Huddy posting Reebok in every single thing, and he has a following, and he has the niche that Reebok's looking for. And then he reaches out to Reebok, they would see, oh, you actually use our products. You already talk about them in your posts. You already talk about them to your followers. Maybe we're willing to work with you, Obviously, Reebok is a very big company. Unless, again, you're a professional athlete, you're probably not going to be able to jump on with Reebok. But never say never. So that takes me to step four, and it's just reaching out to the companies. Now, the last thing that you want to do is reach out to a company and be I want free stuff. The company is going to be okay, no, first off, and then throw your name pretty much in the blacklist pile because you've just annoyed them on getting free stuff. What you need to do is show them what you can offer them, and then you'd be willing to do those things. Hey, I make YouTube videos. I have 5,000 subscribers. It's a CrossFit, blog. I would love to shout out the product, etc. Now, there's a difference between ambassadors, sponsored athletes. What was the thing that you're doing? Something marketing?
Affiliate marketing.
Affiliate marketing. Those are all different things. So we're going to just talk about if you would like to be a sponsored athlete, which technically means that you get things from this company and you make money from selling things, not you get a discount on their product and you make money when they like sell their. It's being a sponsored athlete means that company is working with you to. They're pretty much giving you money to wear their stuff and or their product, and you just happen to have a code that also makes you money. That would be, and they pay for your competitions, or there's some sort of contract between the two of you in that situation.
There's lots of perks.
Yeah, it's not, hey, you have to sell this many things, and if you don't, like, you don't get anything, there's stuff like that. Anyway, those would be like the first few steps. Reaching out to companies, but make sure you're offering them something. It's like any relationship. If you don't offer anything to the relationship, like, what's the point?
It's not a relationship.
Yeah, it's not at all. So that's pretty much like in a nutshell of the things I would do. Should we go into like detail about anything, or any questions, or?
So let's go more like the don'ts of what to do, because like obviously every situation will be different. Like you might know somebody at the company,
right?
Low key, like there's a lot of different things that could be tied into it, but like more don'ts. So let's say, should I tag the company in every single post I do, even if like you can't really see that I'm?
Oh man, that frustrates me. So again, going back to just knowing that we've worked with a few companies. We're not crazy famous yet. And with some of the companies that we've actually helped run, you'll get people tagging you in every post no matter what. Now, unless the company is like, Whoop, I'm literally wearing the Whoop in every single post. You can tell that I'm wearing a Whoop. If I'm dressed up and you can't see it, I'm not going to tag Whoop, because they couldn't even use that picture if they wanted to. Like, what would be the point? Unless I'm like Chris Hemmingsworth, chilling, and it's like, I wear Whoop. Whoop is going to be like, hell yeah, I want to post Chris Hemmingsworth wearing a Whoop. Actually, funny thing, Star-Lord, what's his name in real life?
Chris Pratt.
Chris Pratt. Okay, Chris Pratt was wearing a Whoop in one of he did a like Tonight Show or something, and he was hiking, and I saw that he was wearing a Whoop, and I tagged the owner of Whoop, and I was like, did you guys know Chris Pratt wears a Whoop? And he was like, where did you find this video? And I was like, yeah, that's pretty sick, right? I didn't even know. So yeah. Don't tag the company unless you can see that you're wearing, drinking, using the product, because the company is getting overloaded probably with all these people tagging. And then if they go to your picture and they see that you're not even wearing it, they're probably going to be like, fuck, Hudson always posts that he's wearing our stuff, but he's never doing it. So now I'm not going to go, I don't want to go to your profile.
Now it's much like spam, I guess you could say. Like now I have to actually find out which one. Are you really repping it? Like you wore shorts once and then
now you're walking
Nike the next day.
Yeah. So Hudson actually ran a company's Instagram. We won't say any names in any of this, but he ran an Instagram, and that's something that we had talked about quite a bit. People would tag the company in every single post, even when they weren't using the product, and it got very annoying because some companies, again, really big companies will typically have professional photographers have, photo shoots, and they have professional pictures on every single post.
But for most of the ones that you'd like to start with, when you're growing your, professional career.
Even, for example, like Redline Gear, Matt Frazier started Redline Gear like way back in the day, and I guarantee Redline Gear wasn't taking professional pictures. They're probably posting pictures that they found on Instagram and Facebook of people rocking the gear. That's what they want content to use. And I'll make an example right now. If you guys know who United Lifters is, United Lifters will repost anybody who's rocking the gear, because they want to support. They're like, heck yeah, you're supporting us, we're going to support you. And that's just like
relationship.
Ooh, yeah. But if you continuously tag United Lifters and you're not even wearing any of their gear, the owners are going to be like, why do you keep tagging us? Or if you reach out to them for free stuff, it's like, do you have any of our stuff? Have you ever tried it? Do you just randomly follow us? Like, that's not how you do it.
Okay. So I don't really know. I think we covered a lot of like the don'ts essentially as we're talking about how to get things done. But like with more detail, let's say I buy Reebok shorts, for example, and they're not that big company, but I buy Reebok shorts. I'm wearing them for a few months. How do I go about reaching out? Like, what do I say? Like, how do I say I want to work with them, other than saying, I want to work with you?
Yeah.
Like, what does that mean?
What does that mean? Well, first off, if you guys have never read the book, How to Win Friends and Influence People, that would be step number 1. That is like one of the best books I've ever read on how to like make emails, talk to people, and like build relationships with, brands, companies, and again, just people in general. And one of the things that actually, if you guys know Jordan, he was on our podcast. He works for FitAid or LifeAid. He always says you can catch more bees with honey than with vinegar. Totally true. So being nice and being very positive towards any company, even when you have problems with them, but we're talking about like the positive. So reaching out to the company, again, you want to bring something to the table. And I'll give you guys an example of something that I did recently. Just because, again, this is not like my specialty. I'm not a manager for anything. This is just the things that I've done. And some companies have already reached back out and been like, wow, we appreciate what you did. Like, this is very professional. Awesome. So what I did was I said, hey, company, me and my team, we qualified for the Granite Games. This is how long I've been using your product. This is my favorite things about your product. Here are my favorite products from your company. Here are the people on the team. This is what we have to offer. This person has this many followers. This is what his following consists of. Here's who I am. Here's my following. And then here's our other buddy. Now, he doesn't have a big following, but what he does day to day, he's a pretty badass, and he has, much potential in the sport of CrossFit. And then I wrote, during our trip, we're going to be at the Granite Games. If you guys are going to be there, let us know. We'll hang out. If you would like us to take any videos or any pictures of us in your gear, let us know. So I'm not asking for anything. I just told them, hey, we support your company. We love what you're doing.
Here's all the things about your company that we love.
Here's all the stuff, like we actually use your stuff. Here's who we are, and we'd love to give you guys content. Now, in my head, what that does is it shows the company, 1, we actually use the products, we care about them.
Lots of honey.
Yeah. 2, I want to support them without asking for anything in return because I've already enjoyed their product. I'm, bringing a photographer with us, hopefully, if everything works out, to Granite Games so they can take pictures and videos professionally of us wearing the gear. And then my hope, if this works, is that they will want to use those pictures on their Instagram or their Facebook or maybe one of their product because the pictures are nice. And most brands are always looking for like more content that they can use.
Or even like exposure, because going back to smaller, like for example, Whoop is a big company. If you go back to smaller ones that have 10K, 20K following, but then your whole team is rocking that shirt's logo.
Exactly.
It helps them just get more eyes to them.
Absolutely. And again, we are offering like, hey, we're going to post about you on our Instagrams. I know I bring up Instagram a lot. It's just one of the platforms that I use the most.
It's one of the biggest.
Hudson uses YouTube, has a decent following on YouTube. If we post us doing a workout, maybe we'll do live videos to, bring some viewers like, hey, we don't just talk about CrossFit, we do it. We don't just talk about it, we be about it. Mm-hmm. And they see us rocking the gear like, oh, that looks good. I didn't know you use that product. Like, yeah, it's just more exposure. It's just more positive, just positive stuff for the brand. So that's something that I did. Oh yeah, surprise! I asked Justin to go with us.
He's going?
He said he will if these brands reach back out.
Okay.
So he'll be sleeping on the couch in the room or something.
Cool.
We're gonna figure it out.
Yeah. Well,
yeah. Surprise!
You said that, I was like, is Justin or another photographer?
Yeah, I begged Justin on my knees. No, I didn't. I called him a few times though. I called him like 3 or 4 times and he didn't answer. And then I called him at night. He's like, God damn, you're persistent. I was like, that's right, I am. So yeah, guys, I don't know if I have much more. I should have asked questions like on Instagram. You could.
Well, I have another question.
Oh, okay.
It might feed into more.
Yeah.
So I keep getting some, but or not really a question, but it's kind of like a observation. When you said that you listed all the characteristics, all the things you like you fluffed them up with all these good things, and then you left it even on a good note too, instead of being like, can I have a few pairs of your shirts, or can I something worth, then it takes it from the focus on them to you. It's like, if there's anything that we can do to help or like collab or anything like that, then it leaves it open to them, like, because if you were to say, oh, can I get a full decked out outfit for the competition? No. They're like, no. But then like you don't say anything. They're like, oh, we can send you, your team of shirts or whatever. Like,
yeah. So what I wrote in the end of the email was like, hey, this is what we have. If you would like any pictures or videos of us using your gear, drinking your product, mixing your drinks, wearing your stuff, let us know. And I'm open to any ideas that you might have. Thanks so much for reading the email. And then I included some pictures from last year. So, I mean, I told them that we were in intermediate last year. We made it to RX this year. So it's like showing growth, as us as athletes. And actually I got this idea, from one of our good buddies who was on the podcast. And we got some smart people on the podcast, Christopher Pavordi. He told me, he's like, he'll do a before competition, and like tell his sponsors like, hey, look, this is what I'm doing, this is where it's at, this is how many people, blah 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 blah, and he'll also do something post. And I was like, dude, that is such a good idea.
Wait, say it again. How, this is what he's doing for them?
This is what he does for all of his sponsors. He's got quite a, he's a professional pro light truck racer, so he'll send a email to all of his sponsors talking about the competition that is coming up, everything about the competition, and I hope this isn't secret details, but he'll send that to all his sponsors, like, hey, I'll be here if you have any people that are here and like want to ride along or like introduce or come to the booth or whatever, And I was like, dude, that is sick, that's a super good idea, and yeah. So if you guys don't follow Christopher Pavordi, he's not just good at racing, he's just a smart dude in general. So
so that's one thing you could do now. Like, let's say your gym is hosting a competition.
Yeah.
Or, I don't know, can't think about examples.
Let's talk about that real quick. If your gym is hosting a competition, guys, and you are reaching out to brands for free stuff, instead of approaching it like, hey, we want free stuff, why not say, hey, here's how many people we're having at the competition. Here's how many different gyms will be here. This is how many people have signed up. This is the booths that we're going to be having set up. This is how many winners we're having. We're having a professional photographer here taking pictures of your product, etc. We would like to shout you out on our Instagram, our Facebook. We'll put it on our Wodify, thing, like that you're helping this, like, don't just ask for free stuff. Like, you got to do something to get something, Like, if you think that these professional athletes aren't doing anything for these companies, you're totally wrong. Obviously, companies want publicity for these people, but like, these guys are probably doing a ton of stuff on the back end that you're not seeing.
Yeah. And then one thing that I don't want people to get discouraged on is, like, let's say, again, like, you reach out to Whoop for the common example, and Whoop is like an expensive piece of equipment that, like, it's not like something, it's not cheap. It's not like a shirt that costs like $6 to make. So even if like some company reaches out and says like, yeah, we're willing to give you a shirt, be super appreciative, rock the shirt, show that you got it, like, highlight it, like, again, just let them know that what you're going to offer them.
Yeah.
So that way, if they like it and they see that, it's getting good feedback, then they can go, oh, okay, yeah, we're going to give you a discount code. We're going to give you a Whoop. We're going to do a raffle with, or something like that. That being said, now I just mentioned that word, what's your take on giveaways and raffles? Let's say I'm just hit a milestone of 10K followers on my Instagram page, and I love Reebok. I love Reebok, and I want to get sponsored by them, or I want to start working with them. I want to do something. How do I go about reaching out for like a giveaway?
Well, actually, before you say that, you're talking about getting discouraged. Guys, I cannot even begin to tell you how many brands and people I've reached out to. I'm sure you've reached out to plenty too. Emails, DMs, adding them in the videos, just as many
to not even get a response.
And you don't even get a response, Like, don't let that discourage you. If you are really set on working with somebody, just show them your value, Like, if it's meant to work out, it's going to work out. There's plenty of people that I've talked to where I didn't even know that they were watching, and then you'll get a DM, or you'll see somebody at a competition and they're like, oh yeah, I saw your post, like, that was sick, I really like that. And you're like,
last year we had Granite Games and you met some of the guys that was following you.
Yeah.
Is he gonna be there this year?
More of in like the brand realm, like, you'll go to like the village with all the brands, and you'll like introduce yourself like, oh yeah, I know who you are, you always tag our stuff. You're like, just because you didn't respond doesn't mean they didn't see it and like are keeping tabs on you. Some of these companies have people who are either the owners are running their social media, or they have somebody running their social media, and they consistently see you even if they don't respond. So don't just think it's never going to happen. It will happen if you are doing, you know, the right things and showing your value to the company.
And deep down, if you actually like the company, if I message Reebok and they don't respond, I'm not going to start wearing Nike.
Reebok.
I'm not going to start wearing Nike.
Yeah, I actually like the product.
I like Reebok in general, so I'm going to keep supporting it. They would have to do something. They'd have to respond back and say you're an idiot.
Hate black people.
Yeah, then I'd be like,
geez, okay.
I'll throw away one Reebok item.
Yeah.
But so it's like you have to have a genuine love for the product, and then I like that you brought that up, being consistent. And who's to say that, like, if you keep doing your own thing, staying in like your lane and just working on you, and like as you reach out to other brands, you're still trying to grow and not just try to piggyback off of, like, I feel like some people, from what I've seen, like they try to like get all the little teeny sponsors they can, and every single post is like, look at my Gypsy journal, look at my wad tape, 15% off, look at my CBD, and it's like, they're trying to do that because then they get reposted by the company. They think they're being clever, but like that's not really helping them out. I lost my train of thought. But like, let's say, example, you go to the Power Dot booth. I don't know if they do CrossFit competition anymore, but you go to the Power Dot booth and there's like four of the employees there, like working with members and stuff, and one of them follows you. Yeah. And then that's another way to like build a relationship with somebody that's a part of the company. And then some of these companies are pretty small. Like, it's not like, unless it's like, again, Nike or one of these pretty well-known companies in all realms of fitness, it's like they're all pretty like smaller, 10 to 30. Yeah, exactly. So if one person knows you and they see you and you make a good impression, it's another great way. It's like going with what you said with the book too, 7 Ways to Win People. It's like,
that was a different book, but that's a good one too. What I'm talking about the influence people, make friends and influence people. You're talking about seven ways. 7 habits of highly effective people. Highly effective people. Yeah. That's a good one too.
But that's a different book.
We'll talk about books.
We should do a book. What's it called? What is this? Book? Not a book meeting. Book club. Yeah.
That'd be sick.
I'll try to thought again.
That's okay.
Okay.
I think we've included like most of the do's and don'ts. And honestly, I'd rather stop here and have people ask questions. Maybe I'll post it on Instagram, post it on YouTube. Like here, maybe you can post it, and we can come back and kind of do a little bit more like gathering if we didn't answer any questions.
Okay. And then, definitely.
I thought this was a cool one. I think next time that we meet up, guys, we'll have Hudson talk about like how to grow Instagram, because he's the fucking king at like sitting there and finding the hashtags that work
well. The king sitting. I fuck crush and look right now, dude.
Yeah, he crushes.
I stay sitting.
Yeah, Hudson does all the work that no one else wants to do on Instagram, myself included, and I just try to piggyback and steal all the shit that he does to help my own Instagram. So we'll talk about that and like really what it takes to grow YouTube, Instagram, besides consistency. You know,
that's what everyone. It's funny because like I do a lot of research. I look up like a lot of things on Instagram, and it's like almost. How to grow your first 1,000, how to or get organic followers. Like there's so many different ways they word it. No matter what tip video or tip like blog you go on, its first one's always consistency. So tip number 1, if you want more, let us know.
All right.
Cool. Thanks, guys.
Awesome.
Yeah, hit the like button if you're not already. Subscribe if you're not already. Let us know what you guys want to see next.
If you want to see Hudson as a girl, follow me on Instagram at Roderick Lopez.
Yeah, do that. Bye.